and a very warm afternoon to all of viewers watching NewsX. I'm Kriti Mehta. We're starting now with news from the United States, where President Donald Trump has been presented with military options that include the possible targeting of Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and his son Muhtaba. The no final decision has been made. Reportedly, plans involving strikes on Iran's top leadership have been under consideration for several weeks, but Trump is maintaining strategic ambiguity and has not authorized any action. The U.S. Defense Department has provided a range of scenarios for the president, while White House officials stress that only Trump knows what, if any, steps he may take. Any direct strike on Iran's leadership would represent a major escalation and could have significant implications for regional stability in the Middle East. Dr. Vijay Sagar Devan Dhiman, a retired brigadier, joins me in this conversation. Doctor, thanks very much for joining us back. Trump is being presented with a range of military options that we were just talking about. Which one do you think is he most likely to employ?
Thank you very much for inviting me onto your show. Let me tell you, at the moment, the way the situation is developing, there's a lot of pressure for a military strike. But then the other option of doing a regime change by assassinating Ayatollah Khamenei also exists. And let me show you, it's not only the CIA, it would be the Mossad. Mossad has the expertise, as they had done it with the previous president who was before Pezeshkian, though it was said that he had a chopper crash, but there's all good reason to believe that he was assassinated. Secondly, we also saw assassination of Hamas top leader when the Pezeshkian was going to be sworn in, right in the high security zone. So Iranians are also aware of this. So they put Ayatollah Khamenei in some kind of a hideout, which I'm told is underground bunker somewhere where he's being protected. But at the same time, Iranians are also mulling the regime who's the next, because he's already about 85 years old. So they're looking for his successor also. So all these options which are there being mulled by the White House in whatever their strategic think tank is doing, all these options are giving a reason that Trump is still not really sure whether his strike or change of regime by assassinating Ayatollah Khamenei, he will be able to achieve his purpose or not. Because Iranians are absolutely dogged. And as you know, the Russians have already joined them in the state of Hormuz doing joint drills for rescue, etc. But actually that is a show of force, but some kind of a subtle sign from the Russia. Okay, look, if to Trump, if you try to strike, we also there. And you never know. There's nuclear submarines maybe lurking somewhere around there. One doesn't know about that. And second thing is, Iranians are trying to buy time. They want to sort of, elongate it as far as possible. Like 2 rounds of meetings have taken place. And at the end of it, even Iranians say the talks were positive. But what is that positive? One doesn't know about it. Though Trump is making concessions, but Iranians are not budging. Probably they are waiting for China also to detract from Trump's G2 concept and come to their rescue. We don't know. So in this kind of an uncertainty, I think Trump's options are getting limited day by day, because he's getting, even domestic constituency is against him. Even people are talking that even if he has to strike in some country, he needs a congressional approval for that as well. So one is not sure whether he's doing it or not. But then this is the scenario. But overall assessment, I would say that now the chances of Trump striking Iran one way or the other have gone higher because of the more build-up, more pressure on him, and especially the Supreme Court ruling that yesterday has come against him. So probably, it will rattle him somewhere. And as we all know, he's an unpredictable person. He doesn't follow the normal laid-down norms of diplomacy or even strategy, etc. So one doesn't know what he does. But definitely, the chances of his striking Iran one way or the other, maybe assassination, have gone higher.
All right. But then what's his plan of action if he does intend to, if that really happens, I don't see it likely, but if it happens that he plans to kill the leaders of Iran, Khamenei and his son, what next? Where does Iran go next? Will it slip into will it want to take over as a democracy? Will there be military rule? Or will it be a moderate kind of policies that the country would want to adopt after the protests that we are seeing, what then next for Iran, and who's going to take over in the interim?
You see, in case the strike goes through, or even at worst, let's say he's able to eliminate the top leadership. But then, as I told you, they already mulling the next, like who's going to take over. And IRGC, which is the very, very holy cow of Iranian government, Iranian regime, and they are very, very close to them. It's a radical organization which has already been banned by USN as well as UN. They've been declared as a terrorist organization. If they take over Iran, it will be an anarchy. That is one. Secondly, the world over, the oil prices are going to go haywire. As you know, already oil prices have started rising because of they blocked the Strait of Hormuz by giving the NOTAM that they are doing some kind of drills over there along with the Russians. And then thirdly, Trump has ramifications back home as well, and legal ramifications back home also. So there are a lot of protests all over the US, as well as somebody might go to the Supreme Court to ask him who's authorized. So it will be a total chaos, which I feel Trump probably understands that. And he's trying to avoid that. And both the sides are trying to bargain in such a manner, they're buying time. And because there's no clarity that if Trump strikes, whether the regime change by assassination or by striking the thing, he'll be able to stop Iran from pursuing their nuclear program.